Coach. Both teams banged up heading into tonight, but how do you guys look to get the bounce back win?
Yeah, I mean, we got to come out and make plays both ends. We got to be good defensively, good be offensively. Play good basketball.
And what's the latest with Grayson Allen?
Yeah, I think, he's going to go out and see how he feels. I think, we're calling it a game time decision. So we'll just see how his foot responds, either to treatment on the table, court work, or both, and see how he's feeling before the game.
Coach, I think you had just 2 losing seasons in your time as a head coach. I think the first year in Atlanta, last year in Atlanta. So this is unfamiliar territory with you. Do you feel like you're doing anything different that you hadn't done in the past that's resulted in this as far as on your end as a coach?
No, I mean, it's you got to figure out your team. So, I think every team's a little bit different. So strategy-wise, I mean, the game's changed and all that stuff. So I think, but generous speaking, philosophically speaking, approach to each day, hopefully some change for the better. But it doesn't feel like it right now. So, losing's hard. But, I think there's an approach to each day, a work each day that you put in that's really winning a lot of games or losing a lot of games. Hopefully there's not that much change.
On a follow-up, there was a report Chris Haynes was saying that I guess you and Devin had a talk with Devin about, hey, let the coaches have a voice, and Devin kind of took offense to that because he's usually obviously talking. Do you recall this conversation you had with Devin?
Well, Devin and I have lots of conversations, so I think it's super healthy. Internally, some of this stuff has been shared with me, so usually I'm kind of naive or in a cave. But Devin's care factor's off the charts. Devin always starts with himself. He's always pushing all of us to be better. Devin's awesome, and his communication is awesome. His style is great. So I get it. I understand. I don't think, I don't have a lot more to say. There's conversations that Devin and I have all the time. And I'm good with those conversations. We don't always agree on everything. I think he actually appreciates it. I appreciate it. So, I think I'll leave it there.
Coach, to your point about having those conversations, it felt like, he mentioned last night when we talked to him about, I talk a lot, and it felt like a kind of pointed response. Is that something that you feel the need to address, or does that kind of go into what you're saying about having regular conversations with him?
No, I mean, I think nothing Devin, he's a very upfront, very honest. He's a very real person. He and I have very real conversations. So usually anything he said, whether it be in here or somewhere else, he's probably said it to me and other times. So communication and our team being together and our team being able to fight, are all good messages. Like I got all respect for Devin and his, intellect, his understanding of what goes into winning, what's important for winning. He's a stud. So, he wants to win. He expects to win. And I think we should all be good. That's how he is.
You mentioned the importance of that communication. How has he been on that front as one of your vocal leaders in the locker room?
Yeah, no, he's good. Like there's always, everybody's got different ways of communicating, different ways that you do it. And I think, we're always pushing, everything we do to be better. And so that's nothing new. But he's very vocal, and it's a good thing. So I don't want there to be any confusion about that.
Mike, Devin also said that at times when things go poorly, when you guys start to struggle a little bit, it's too quiet among the players on the bench. Have you noticed that? Is that a problem? Has that been similar to things you have experienced in the past? How would you respond to that?
Yeah, I mean, if you've been around sports your whole life, when things aren't going your way, it's hard to stay vocal. It's hard to stay connected. It's hard to do all those things. That's why winning is hard. So we talk to the team. We talk amongst ourselves. Like, there's so many things you got to do to win. And that's including fighting through, when there's some adversity and continuing to communicate. But we're not any different than any other team. We need to be better when it's hard. We need to communicate better. But I don't think that's unique to our team or any team that's maybe going through some struggles. And so that's the challenge for me as the coach, to keep pushing through it. But when things are hard, it's hard to keep that communication, but we got to do it.